From sea to shining sea, the United States skyline alone has brought in visitors from all over the world. But not every building can inspire, and a few can make you question your decision to visit. So, let's take a road trip to see the ugliest buildings and skyscrapers in the United States. First stop, Newark, Ohio, home of the largest basket ever made. No, really, see for yourself. This giant structure was the corporate headquarters for the Longaberger Basket Company. Guess what they were known for manufacturing? The entire building was created as a tribute to their iconic hand-woven baskets design. The 70-story structure is 192 feet by 126 feet at the base, expanding outwards to 208 feet long by 142 meters at the top. The basket may be the biggest thing about this city, taking up 180,000 square feet. While a normal-sized basket from the company could cost almost $100, this replica is 160 times larger and cost $32 million to build in 1997. If you laughed at the price, you weren't alone. At first, no one was on board with founder Dave Longaberger's idea for the building. They thought the plan was a joke. Almost 30 years later, many are still convinced that it is. The architects had difficulty designing the structure since the upper floors expanded outwards, and those giant replica handles weigh almost 150 tons. But they're more than decoration. They can be heated during the winter to prevent ice from forming and falling on the building's glass roof. Your first instinct might be to walk away from this building and never look back. Well, that's what the company did in 2014 when it stopped paying its property taxes. That forced the company to move out in 2016 to relocate to a more traditional building. But investor Steve Kuhn bought the giant basket in 2019 for pennies on the dollar, spending only $1.2 million. At first, he wanted to sell this monstrosity off. But when no one wanted to buy it, he opted to turn the basket into a luxury hotel instead. And he even successfully added the building to the National Register of Historic Places, cementing this building's place for generations to come. That brings me little comfort. So let's visit an actual luxury hotel in the heart of the desert. Welcome to Trump Tower in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is hardly a town known for subtlety in any design, so it takes a lot of effort to be known as one of the gaudiest places around. The Golden Tower stretches 64 stories high, or 3.46 acres of land. Many call this modern-day Tower of Babel home, since it has condos to rent and buy. It's the tallest residential building in Las Vegas, holding that record since it was built in 2008. And while the ballers can come here to live in luxury or dine at either of the two high-end restaurants within, they won't be able to gamble. This building is one of the few places in Las Vegas that doesn't have a casino. Come on, even the airport has slot machines. The glass on the building is infused with gold, giving it that obscenely wealthy vibe. Of course, no Trump building would be complete without their name slapped on the front for all to see for miles. The construction had a lot of false starts and was riddled with problems. In the end, only 21% of the condo units had sold, making this tower relatively empty. From soup to nuts, the building cost $500 million to construct in 2008. The Trumps wanted to build a second identical tower next to it, but the 2000s recession hit hard and ended those plans. So for now, we're stuck with only one solid gold tower, a monument to the excess that is Las Vegas. Why don't we visit a building in a state known for its hipster vibe? This is the Oregon Convention Center, located in Portland. Built in 1990, this facility is 4 stories tall, but has 1 million square feet inside. But you might recognize the outside from its distinctive twin spires. Okay, that may not be a selling point, but the center is one of the first buildings to receive the highest rating from the US Green Building Council's LEED certification program because of its efforts in sustainability. A 6,500 solar panel array generates 25% of the electricity used in the center, and the rest of the energy from the electricity and gas is offset with renewable energy credits. There's even a rain garden that diverts runoff water from the roof. Events held within are banned from using non-recyclable materials, and any surplus food and reusable items are donated to local non-profits. The center was even turned into a shelter at the beginning of the 2020 lockdown, providing a home for the unhoused population. Look, it may not be pretty, but you can't deny the positive impact the center has made on its community. The Oregon Convention Center even features artwork from over 24 Pacific Northwest artists, so you can find something much nicer to stare at inside. The convention center is brimming with creativity and goodwill, providing a refuge from everything from pandemics to good taste. But the next skyscraper is one of the most iconic eyesores in all of New York City. MetLife Insurance has become an institution in American culture, dominating the insurance industry and the airwaves with its commercials. But its grip on the New York City skyline is nothing to envy. This uniquely ugly building was completed in 1963 and measured 59 stories tall. The entire skyscraper covers over 260,000 square meters of land in this densely populated area. So what makes this building so recognizably hideous? The facade on the first 2 floors is decorated in granite, aluminium, marble, and stainless steel with glass windows. Go higher, and stories 3 through 7 are literally sheathed in granite, complemented with window inserts. The 8th and 9th floors are set in aluminium and recessed slightly further back. Many different materials and styles are creating this uniformly ugly experience. The building also sits atop railroad tracks that lead into the iconic Grand Central Terminal. While that accessibility to public transit is entirely in line with the New York state of mind, including a parking structure has baffled many. Critics call the parking garage a waste of space, with one magazine editor calling for an open plaza instead. An art historian even called the building a fatal blow to the Park Avenue neighborhood because it was only developed for the sole purpose of making money. When asked how they could justify using so much space so wastefully, one developer simply responded by saying that every citizen has the right to use the law as far as he can. Look, I guess that's true, but there should be a law against bad taste. And to prove my point, I present to you our next building, the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. This building celebrates pop culture from music, movies, celebrities, and everything in between. But the structure itself won't be remembered with the same reverence as any of the subjects featured within. But these facades are unique, I'll give it that. Built in the summer of 2000, the building reaches a total height of 85 feet and takes up 140,000 square feet. 21,000 stainless steel and aluminium painted shingles make up the exterior facade. These panels reflect light in different conditions and even change color from different angles. Why would anyone do that? The architect wanted to show how music and culture constantly evolve. This funky design looks like the hull of a futuristic spaceship. Maybe it'll take you light years away from here, if you're lucky. But before you take off, check out the Sky Church, which has one of the largest indoor LED screens anywhere in the world. The building is a tribute to rock legend Jimi Hendrix and can hold up to 800 people. Some people have called this structure a fitting tribute to the American rock experience. The master architect, Frank Gehry, designed the building to resemble a smashed eclectic guitar in honor of the late superstar. Unfortunately, Forbes magazine declared Gehry's work one of the world's ugliest buildings, calling it a blob. Scathing criticism aside, the building contains an extensive rock memorabilia collection and exhibits from your favorite nerdy movies. The last building on our list could easily fit into that category. Welcome to the Batman Building, officially known as Tennessee's AT&T Building in Nashville. It's not hard to see where the nickname came from. Those twin spires look like the caped crusader's face watching over the city. It's the tallest building in Tennessee, and it's been terrorizing criminals and anyone with eyes since 1994. The skyscraper measures 188 meters with 33 stories and occupies almost 2 city blocks. The designers claim that the resemblance to Batman wasn't intentional, but once the comparison started, no one could unsee that face. And thus the nickname stuck, cementing its place in infamy. Even DC Comics blessed the building's moniker, finding the image amusing. The Gothic design has become so iconic that a French website named the building one of the 12 most original office buildings in the world. Original is a nice word. Maybe not the word I would have used, but there's no denying the powerful design, ugly or not. Tennessee even features the building on the design of its state-issued driver's licenses. The AT&T building has even helped boost economic activity in the city. Now visitors come to tour the building and take in the sights of the Broadway area. Did we miss your favorite ugly building? Let us know in the comments, and keep watching for the craziest megastructures and skyscrapers around right here.